Vince, I am tired of the reign of Puxatawny Phil. He predicted 6 more weeks of winter. I can't take it. The cold, the snow.
Aaron, the steam coming out of your ears is scary. And I want to quell that anger with this month's Tokyo Treat Box.
Ooh, the Tokyo Treat alone is unredditing my face. Please continue.
Tokyo Treat wants to invite you and everyone else to experience Japan from the comfort of your own home through their Tokyo Treat snack box. If you don't know what that is, it's a fun and exclusive Japanese snack subscription box filled with limited edition Kit Kats, specialty flavored Japanese chips, seasonal treats, and the occasional Japanese soda that are only available in Japan for a limited time. And each box includes a cultural guide booklet so that you can learn more about the snacks you receive, as well as important allergy information. And the booklet also contains a wealth of information about Japanese culture, which is super crucial for this month's theme, which is Cherry Blossom Bites.
Oh, those words alone are like a cool breeze on a spring day. Please continue.
That's right. And you can celebrate the Sakura season with Tokyo Treat, this month's limited edition cherry blossom designed box. And it's filled with Sakura-inspired treats and seasonal Japanese snacks to bring the magic of springtime straight to you, no matter what it's like outside. And you can enjoy a delicious mix of Sakura-flavored sweets, savory Japanese snacks, and bite into festive treats that capture the joy of spring. Doesn't that sound nice?
Mm-hmm.
So you can unbox, snack, and celebrate the season in full bloom.
What might be in this box?
I'm glad you asked because I got some highlights for you. We got Kit Kat strawberry shortcake.
Oh,
A Sakura blossom cake.
Ooh, hey, everyone likes cake.
Sour plum salt crackers.
My lips are puckering.
Well, how does this make your lips with the Hakata tonkatsu ramen and much, much more?
I want to slurp that up, but I see you got something in your hand.
I know. I've been holding on to these strawberry shortcake Kit Kats. I have to dive into.
You have to. Never go wrong with a non-traditional flavored Kit Kat.
They're hard to find here.
Hence the box.
Here we go.
Okay. Ooh, no break in the middle. Biting straight through.
Ooh.
Oh. I see that look of pure enjoyment on your face. You did the Arsenio Hall? You did the dog pound? That's how good they are?
They're so good. We're bringing Arsenio back.
Who?
Yeah, because it's the tang of the strawberry, the lightness of the cream, and that white chocolate crunch on the outside, along with the thin wafer, makes it a delicious treat that definitely has made spring sprung in my taste buds.
Look, we've talked about Tokyo Treat for years at this point. Everyone who gets a box, they love it. Recently had a listener reach out to say how much they enjoyed their Tokyo Treat box. They got the Valentine's one. Really enjoyed the chocolate banana crunch little candies that were in there, as did I. Look, get a box and try it for yourself. You're not going to be disappointed. Don't you want to do the Arsenio Hall in your own home?
Yeah, whoop it up. And you can do that by going to team.tokyotreat.com/Kame. Use promo code KAME at checkout to get $5 off your first box. Now I'm going to do it with my fist, whooping it up. Let's go to team.tokyotreat.com/Kame. Use promo code KAME to get $5 off your first box. You will not be disappointed. Bring spring in to your home a little bit early with the Sakura Season Cherry Blossom Bites box.
Just don't share it with Puxatawny Phil.
Kame House Party.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Kame House Party for another week. I am Vince.
And I am Aaron.
And we are the hosts of Kame House Party, the world's bestest and only improv comedy Dragon Ball watch-along podcast, bringing you Dragon Ball Z talkbacks every week with a little bit of improv flair over the top. And, we got another episode. We got another episode to talk about.
Confirmed.
For sure. But before we do that, we've got a little bit of Kame housekeeping just to get us ready for the show as a whole. And the first piece of Kame housekeeping is the world famous, UN sanctioned, and Olympic Committee approved 1 minute roundup drip sound. I'm going to try to do the sound effect. Okay, I can't do it.
Well, there's your problem. You got rusty pipes all through the basement. It's all going to have to be replaced.
Buddy, you're talking to a plumber. I already knew that.
Okay.
And I thought you were going to give me the old leaky O-ring kind of dealio, but you passed my plumber test.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, I had my doubt when I came to the house of the master plumber, Mario Luigi.
That's right. They
No
call
relation.
me the goat. They call me the goat of pipes, the copper king, the lead leader,
The drainage dawn.
the wicked wrench,
The plumber's helper's helper.
the perfect plunger,
The warding washer.
disposal daddy.
And scene.
And scene.
Disposal daddy. That's
Oh,
what they call me at a buffet, baby.
hey, I like that. You better bring me out a fresh plate of crab legs.
I'm going at lunch because I'm thrifty.
Yeah. But that is the improvised scene that we do at the top of every show to loosen or tighten our improv muscles for whatever our conversation about this week's episode calls for. That then leads us into the 1 minute roundup proper, where this time, one of us, and this time that person is Aaron, has 60 seconds to summarize everything that has happened in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z up until this point. We're getting close to 200 episodes of Dragon Ball Z and over 150 episodes of Dragon Ball to cover. And we do that as a service to you, the listener, so you don't have to go back and watch every single episode of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, or listen to every single episode of Dragon Ball Z or of the podcast to know what we're talking about and where we are in the show. Though many of you do. We appreciate you for it. And with that preamble out of the way, Aaron, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's one I've never heard before.
I doubt it. I don't think I've ever said these words before. Are you ready to round up?
I'm clutching my pearls because yes, I am. Dragon Ball is about 7 magic crystal balls. You collect them all. You get any wish you want. It stars Goku. He's the lead. He knows karate. He defeats people who want to use the Dragon Balls for evil and just evil people in general. He grows up, has a family. He learns he's an alien, but that don't stop him. But his brother does because his brother kills him. He goes and trains in the afterlife. Comes back to defeat more people from his home planet. All of his friends die, so he has to go to where the Dragon Balls originally come from. He goes there, brings back his friends, becomes a legendary Super Saiyan to defeat Frieza. He comes back to Earth, has a heart attack, meets a dude from the future, he meets his friend's son from the future, fights a bunch of androids. There's a bug android that's a perfect android. He sucks up all the other androids. There are Cell games, and they're in it. Goku's like, I can't win, but my son can. So Gohan does, but not really, because Goku has to kill himself to help his son. But it was in vain because Cell's back and more perfect than ever, and he's gonna blow up the whole ass planet.
Whoa. You've been training, because You were on pace. You hit all the big beats. You got a lot of stuff in there.
Thank
you. So if you have any complaints about Aaron's roundup, a pleasant fuck you. But also, you can send in your own 1 minute roundup. We love to get these. You can email us and send in the MP3 to kamehousepartypod@gmail.com, and we'll play them on air. It's listen to unseen. You can do whatever you want in there.
Yeah, just whatever will fit in that file.
Yeah, whatever will fit in that 1 minute file, we'll take it.
If it's just like your demo tape, we'll play that.
We'll play that. That's a roundup of sorts. I'd love to get some pointers on how good demos are done.
I think as long as you mention a Goku at least once.
Extra points if you mention his Japanese full name. I won't say it here. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Okay. Nor do I want to spoil or unspoil the listener. That's not a thing. On the second and final piece of Kame housekeeping, which is where I tell you, the listener, that Aaron and I watched 2 different versions of the show. I watched the English dub version, the funny dub, Funimation dub, while Aaron watches the Japanese language original subtitle version. Because comparing and contrasting is fun, and it's how we butter our bread around here. And I always lay the butter on first, as well as giving you the first difference, which is the title of the episode for this week, which is episode 190 of Dragon Ball Z. The horror won't end.
It won't. The horror filler, the horror of Mr. Satan still in denial. Mine focuses on the positive. You know, it also gets. We're recording on a Sunday, so it's also a little appropriate for the day of rest, the Sabbath.
Look at this.
All right, so my episode title for episode 190 of Dragon Ball Z, roughly translated from the original Japanese, is From Goku, rewind. From Goku to Gohan, the spirit of the father is handed down.
And I raise my hands up to catch the blessings of Goku.
May Goku smile upon you this day.
Hallelujah.
And we cannot forget Gohan, who gave his left arm for us.
And we forgive Vegeta for his trespasses.
Piccolo, nothing wrong.
Hey.
10 out of 10.
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
No notes.
Page 10, verse 10. Piccolo rules.
Do not be tempted by Roshi in his vile temptations. His avarice.
Oh, wash the feet of that Yajirobe because those sandals are dirty.
And we did sup upon Oolong to celebrate the coming of Goku.
Oh, that's good. That's good Christian Dragon Ball. That's good Christian Dragon Ball.
They're serving Oolong at the potluck.
Absolutely. That pig probably tastes great. He eats so good.
Oh, I know. Fat. Ooh, marbled. Well marbled.
Oh, stop. Because I'm gonna eat my microphone.
Real quick, the question is, does he have such control over his shape changing that he can change the fat content of his musculature?
That is a really good question. I assume so. Or maybe he wasn't a standout in his class like Poir, so I doubt Poir can definitely do that.
To reference early Dragon Ball, he did had to produce 2 mounds of fat at one point. The term that everyone loves for what those are. But I think myth busted. I think is what we
Adam Savage, take a break. Myth busted.
I think you've tested it.
Jamie Heineman, stay wherever you are. You're done. We solved it. But with that out of the way, Aaron, we got to start talking about this filler-ass episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I think for me, the first interesting thing is you have Mr. Satan as Cell is powering up. He gets directly in front of camera, not the camera guy camera, our camera, the audience's, and just will not let go that it's a trick, an incredible trick.
At least he gasses it up a little bit. It is incredible. If this was a trick,
I know. David Blaine's
the Imagineers at Disney could never.
And then Jimmy pushing him out of the way, still broadcasting, still calling it. He's got a big ass stick in his hand instead of a microphone.
I loved this. This is so perfect. In mine, Jimmy says this as he's doing his stick reporting. Cell has turned on his monster beam, and strong winds are shooting out. It's like a typhoon, or a wind tunnel, or a typhoon in a wind tunnel. Who am I talking to? He's spiraling in a way that is so beautiful.
He's doing what he loves with his last moments. He's supporting everyone. Despite his biased journalism, he will stick out the assignment at least,
and that we have to give credit for. And yeah, it's still real shitty that Hercule is trying to. I mean, he's just in such deep denial over what he's seeing.
He cannot fathom a world of ki that he does not have access to. Negative ki, you might say.
Yeah, some evil ki that is clocked by Dende. That's right. Dende's still around, folks. He's on the lookout. But as Cell is charging up, we also zoom out even further to New Namek. And they can feel the evil energy coming off of Earth. And they're like asking the Elder, like, is that Goku? Who is that? And they're like, I don't know who it is, but it's certainly evil. And they're like, but Dende's there. Too bad for him.
It's like, it's fine. We'll vomit it. We'll vomit an egg.
I can make a new Dende like that.
Yeah. Oh, that new dad threat just dropped. You know how easy it is to make a new you? Clean up the room.
Clean up the room or I'll barf up a brother that can.
He'll be fully functional right out of the egg.
Hell, I'll give him wings.
That's right. I didn't give you wings.
Because I wanted you to struggle.
You've got to know what it's like. We also have Vegeta during this time is still knocked out, can't do anything. In mine, he says, quote, "To think I've become excess baggage."
Ooh.
And then apologizes to Gohan for not being able to do anything.
Yeah. I again, like this Vegeta apology definitely hits really hard going through the journey with him across the series to now he realizing the folly of his pride and apologizing. Gohan is even like, I never thought I'd hear Vegeta apologize ever. The other thing is we get a cut to Piccolo just raging at nothing. I wish I had more power.
He wants to do. Yeah, throughout this, he's just the thing that makes him the most mad is like not being able to do anything.
Right.
And his little antennae. I like the way his little antennae were animated, where they're just whoop, whoop, back and forth. It's like a single frame, like a flip book.
All of this is happening while Trunks is bleeding out from a giant hole in his chest cavity. Has he died yet?
I don't. No one mentions him being in the other world. He's not
True.
at King Yema's office.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say Krillin looking down at 18.
At least I got you, babe.
This is close enough.
I'm holding her. That's a win for me.
If I look at it in relative terms, I'm doing great.
Yamcha, single. Tien, single. Piccolo, single with a family.
Single dad.
Single dad who works 2 jobs.
Hey, thanks. Hey, in these last moments, thanks, Krillin, for recognizing that.
Yeah, you're in your Reba era, bro.
I might be experimenting with country music.
Oh, you trying to pull his Shabuzi?
Look, this ain't Namek.
Well, as you can see, I finally got a girlfriend.
Well, let's not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? We're all gonna die. That's definitely your girlfriend.
Thanks.
Oh, you're trying to give her little kisses on her forehead, but you're just hovering right above and not making contact, which is, I think,
respectful.
Yes, but it's
adorable.
It's borderline.
Borderline the cutest thing you've ever seen?
No, like personality disorder borderline. Maybe try BetterHelp if we live through this. Not a sponsor.
And scene. I'm trying to see in my notes if I have anything on Krillin other than just he's still holding that lady.
That's kind of what he does.
Mm-hmm. The remainder of the series, maybe he just holds that lady.
I mean, like, if I was him, same. Just like, it's not going to get better than this.
Because this episode is so regurgitative in terms of like what we learn or what changes. I don't know if this happens before the break where like we see the whole world reacting to the end of the world yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That happens, right? Everybody is just like...
That does. I think it happens later, but
okay.
it's so quick. I think the thing that struck me is like all the rows are like swaying, and that's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Terrifying, massive earthquakes. I guess, look, here I'm going to pick some niddles. If everybody's already evacuated the major cities, why is there traffic?
Well, they had to gather for the big TV.
Oh, that's right.
It's New Year's Eve rules.
They're all in diapers.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't allowed to leave until the world ends or the tournament does.
Who is still going to New Year's Eve, to rock in New Year's Eve, to be locked in?
Tens of thousands of people.
It's definitely for the young. Right?
No.
Well, who would have the energy / ignorance? The
foreigners.
Maybe.
People from outside of the United States who want to experience a New Year's Eve. A New Year's Rockin' Eve. Sorry, a Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
You know what? I think that's it. I think there's not an American on site behind those.
No, but it drives me up a wall because I watch the New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Mm-hmm.
With the consistency of a sad man. And yeah, you'd think that the last 3 years it's been awful. Just like pouring rain.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 years they haven't even had some dumb Christian high wire stunt act.
Christian high wire stunt act?
That was like 3 years ago. It was bad.
Like they, much like the growing up, the men who would rip phone books in half in the power of the Lord, they can walk a tightrope, not from practice, but again, the power of the Lord.
They were well practiced, and it was mostly just the dad who's like, "Oh, God gave me the whatever."
Don't go is what we're saying. If you're not in the United States and you're curious about it, don't be.
Don't be. You can watch it at home. There's probably a 360 VR camera you
can't
get.
even drink there.
No, you're not allowed to do anything except hope that you're close enough to the edge that Ryan Seacrest will ask you, "Why did you come to New Year's Rockin' Eve?" "Oh, because it's a once in a lifetime experience and the rain won't stop me from celebrating." Woo!
I imagine it's the same mentality. We'll see how many listeners we lose from this. I imagine it's the same mentality of like people who have like gigantic ass weddings of like, it's my one shot, one opportunity. Maybe I'll get like for New Year's Eve, maybe if I smooch someone, I'll get on TV and then that's my shot. I don't know.
I want one of those Planet Fitness hats, please.
I want to be the envy of everyone in my gym.
I want all the lunks to see what a hunk I am on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. And not a chunk, to quote Doughboys. Have you met anyone that has done that? That has done the Rock on New Year's Eve?
No, because I don't want to smell their diaper. Got him. Got him.
You smell them coming a mile away.
Just like I guess we could have seen this filler episode coming a mile away, maybe. Because what makes it truly filler is I think the first half of this is less less disrespectful of our time, because we get kind of like what I thought was an internal monologue from Cell, understanding the words ultimate perfection as he's charging up his Kamehameha wave. And we get a flashback to, and I wrote in my notes, we get a flashback to the Giro of Cell's future past.
Yes, this took me forever to realize that this is in Trunks's future. Technically, Trunks's past.
Right. This is Trunks's past, but in the timeline of, we'll do Trunks's timeline and Goku's timeline. In the Goku timeline, this has not occurred yet and never will, because Dr. Giro's lab was blown up by Krillin and folks, and instead of making Cell, he made Android 16. But in Trunks's reality, Giro made 17 and 18, but wanted to make the perfect android, found out that he can do that with a biomechanical android named Cell, and proceeds to tell the two strongest beings on the planet that, like, this thing is going to kill you, eat you, and be the strongest, most perfect thing that I've ever made. And when 17 and 18 are like, well, when 17's like, oh yeah? Giro threatens them with the self-destruct button, but 17 just cuts his head off.
Yeah. It's one thing is when they show Giro, he's zooted. He's got those bloodshot eyes. I think I'm using that term correctly. Zooted, right?
Yeah, he's zooted.
Okay. Lifted. He's just in the lab, like the hubris on this man to be like, you kids suck. Now go, because I have a little magic button. You need to go back to your pods and go back to sleep.
Yeah. Just a dumb move. 17 and 18 then blow up the lab, thinking like, oh, there we go. We've done our part. Let's go just terrorize the rest of the world.
There's a sassy line from 18 as they're looking at little embryo Cell, She says he's cute and then says, quote, "So this is the ultimate artificial human? Something must have been wrong with Dr. Giro then."
Oh, she got his ass. Where's Mario Lopez?
Yeah, she's getting ready for a Wild 'N Out.
She hit him with the your father joke.
Yeah.
This is your father.
Yeah, they, like you said, they zip up, try and blow up the lab. Didn't work.
And then Cell waxes poetic, and he's like, and in that moment, or like, Giro played his own voice on a loop for this baby, and the AI took over cultivating Cell. It took many, many years. When he finally comes out, he's in his pupil stage, gets all tall and bug-like. He's like, and I'm paraphrasing. I snacked on every human I could, but the destruction was too great. Then I found Trunks's time machine, had to repupate myself to fix it and fly to this present.
Look, that's not the interesting part, okay? I'm trying to. You all know this about me, Gohan.
Yeah.
And we know that around this time is when we get a commercial.
Hey, Riley,
Yeah, Andrew.
do you want to make a podcast ad?
I do, but what would we mention?
So I think that we could probably put together an ad for a show called The Podcast Minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we. You know, it's a podcast where we both pitch each other podcast ideas instead of doing one ourselves.
Yeah, it's a podcast pilot pitching project. Totally. It's we should mention that it's a comedy show, right? Where we throw out ideas like getting weirdly deep into the themes of Jumanji.
Is that one a podcast?
No. It's a podcast idea that is actually a front for me to talk to you about hyperfixations I got.
Oh, that's most of the things that you hit me with. What about instead if we just talked about all the different ways you could do a rewatch of Lost?
Now that sounds like you just did what I did, but you said it in a positive voice.
Okay, and along the way, what if we pitched ideas like, I don't know, epic rap battles of mystery, the Lin-Manuel Miranda podcast?
Listen to the Podcast Minds. There, but for the grace of pod, go we on your podcatcher of choice on the Moonshot Network. Hi ho!
Hi ho! Every Friday.
The flashback that won't end.
There's more. A little.
Yeah.
There's a little. The first part was a little better just because it's things we haven't seen before. Really. But this is just it's all footage we've seen.
It's all reused assets. Cell's speech is like, I had some highlights from his speech. And this is kind of before I realized he was actually talking to Gohan this entire time. Because he says, the universe is said to have begun with a big bang. How appropriate for now an explosion has given me the power to finish it. Now, I realize the true genius of my design. Once I'm finished tearing this world into pieces, I'll use instant transmission to move on to other planets. That is my destiny. I am the universe's end.
Ooh, that's very good. I don't really have anything I wrote down from the Japanese dub, but it's same information, but I think yours is much more menacing.
Yeah. This is, I think, definitely one of the Cell has been a great villain throughout the entire saga. But Perfect Cell becoming like so self-aware and being able to vocalize the threat that he is not only to the remaining Z fighters in the planet, but to the universe at large in this moment is really cool because we've seen him, destroy giant asteroids and all of that. And I think it's in this episode or maybe the episode before where he talks about like the fact that Giro was such a beautiful designer. He gave me Piccolo's cells to regenerate, the Saiyan cells to get stronger after near-death experiences, and Frieza's cells to survive anywhere. So Cell doesn't need oxygen to exist.
In mine, he did say, and Frieza's cold, unfeeling heart. That's what I got from him.
That's good too, though. Because, the crescendo that Toriyama thought this was going to be for the series is perfectly encapsulated in what Cell is and how Cell has transcended the design philosophy of Gero. Like 17 and 18 in comparison are, what is it? They have a shelf life, right? Their job is to kill Goku, period. And when they're done with that, presumably they just seed chaos on Earth and have nothing else to do. As shown in Trunks' future, all they do is just destroy more and more and more until there's nothing left. And then they're bored and they have nowhere to shop. But Cell, like Frieza, the threat of what comes next is not only realized here, but voiced in a way that is chilling to the characters and to you, the viewer, especially if this is your first go around. There's a reason why Cell has permeated pop culture in a way that Frieza hasn't, outside of extremely racist memes. But
his defining quality,
right? Cell has no, there's no racist bone in his body. He just hates everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we have another series where we talk about Dragon Ball Daima. And we may or may not ever talk about Dragon Ball Super. But the villains of those subsequent arcs never really have the same stakes as the Cell games and the Cell saga. Like, Majin Buu has really high stakes, but they are, it's not, placated is not the word, but you see them play out in a way that is anticlimactic.
Okay.
Where, like, just the thought and anticipation of the brutality of Cell and his mindset makes you genuinely fear for Gohan in this moment. And Gohan's characterization is so good, as like, I finally tapped into the power and the potential that everybody saw in me, but I squandered it.
Yeah.
So it's because there's not a lot going on in this episode. I just wanted to say that, and then we can get back to.
I think it's definitely it's all been leading to this,
right?
Because of Cell, and like you said, his speech, of like, everyone we have encountered thus far has contributed to the creation of Cell and their own demise.
Well said. Well said. And I guess I wish in the long future of Dragon Ball from this point had more of that. But I guess it's impossible to do that without just feeling like you're on the same treadmill. And I get the challenge that Toriyama had to face. Because even GT does that, that the sins of the past coming back does that better than the Buu saga. There's a lot more about GT that is terrible. But like, that's something that Daima doesn't have. Like, it's not the sins of Vegeta or the sins of the Saiyans or anything other than, hey, what if this MacGuffin actually was super strong? But yeah.
It's we get all this from Cell, just narrating it to Gohan. We do from there. We go to see Chi-Chi banging on her kitchen table. She's wondering what's happening. And then a character we haven't seen in a while, Baba, the fortune teller. Roshi's sister comes in. She's like, "Oh, I thought you'd be worried. Sorry, this is a Roshi. This is the best I could do. Look, I thought you'd be worried, so I brought my balls. You can see what Gohan's up to." And she finds the right channel. Chi-Chi, seeing that Gohan is injured, faints almost immediately.
Yeah, she's just like, "What's wrong with my baby's arm?"
No, that's his homework hand.
How will he turn the pages?
I'll have to hire more tutors. One to hold his book up, the other to write down his
whip
dictation.
him.
It's like more whipping tutors. You know how hard they are to find. And especially now that he's gotten so strong.
Especially, yeah. I mean, corporal punishment can't work on a kid this strong.
Mm-hmm. Shame. That's the real power.
Hey, we gotta get back to shaming people.
Yeah. we need more causes of therapy later in life.
And you know what would be a very good therapy moment for Gohan to highlight in his next session is when Cell asks him, "Are you going to fight back?" And Gohan says, "I lost my chance. There's no point in fighting anymore."
He in mine he quotes a little Star Trek by saying resistance is futile.
No.
Mm-hmm. Then he does that.
No, that's wrong. Fake fan.
And then he says, "Engage the hyperdrive."
I'm gonna have a heart attack. Goku style.
And watch out for the Daleks.
No! Oh, my baby aspirin's not working.
Oh no, you're having a Goku attack.
I'm having a Goku attack. Oh, I need to summon Jean-Luc.
You need 3 days of a fever dream.
Remind me after this to send you Patrick Stewart in Star Trek: The Next Generation, living through Spock's capsulated emotions. It is an act. It is acting genius.
Interesting.
It is so funny.
Wait, does Spock take over his body?
Oh, Aaron, TLDR, but like the Vulcans have psychic powers.
Okay.
They are void of emotion, not like genetically, but as like a religious practice almost. So psychically, they bottle their emotions up and like can encapsulate them so that they don't cloud their logical judgment.
Okay.
As Vulcans age, the power to hold back their emotions wanes.
Okay.
And in this episode, Spock is a dignitary and has to do some kind of important negotiations, but his emotions keep coming into play. And so what he does, the Vulcan mind transfer technique, and gives Jean-Luc Picard his emotions. And there is a prolonged scene in which Jean-Luc is just white knuckling at his desk, going through emotions for a long time. It's so much better than this episode of Dragon Ball.
You don't like the voice. Look, let's get into the prophecy.
Yeah.
The voice from literal heaven. Goku coming in, talking to Gohan in his head, giving him words of encouragement, saying things like, "Saiyans never give up. And if you do a Kamehameha, I know you'll win."
Interesting. In mine, Goku says, if you want to blame anybody, blame Cell. Like, because Gohan is self flagellating. Dad, I can't do it. I gave up my chance. Like, I've let everybody down. But then Gohan decides to fight, charging up his own Kamehameha wave, and we see the wispy vision of Goku doing his along with his son. And I get a lovely bit from the announcer.
Yes.
At the last second, Gohan has decided to fight. Sorry, let me take that again. Because I wrote these notes a long time ago.
Yeah, it's I hope it's similar to what I got from the announcer.
At the last instant, Gohan has decided to fight. He has his father's strength. He even has his attack technique. But has Gohan inherited the most important trait? Has Gohan become a hero?
He's, of course. Why is that a question?
Know. He seems a little bitch made, if you ask me.
Heroes don't do homework.
The last time I checked, heroes had 2 arms.
It's ableist, announcer. What are you doing?
Also, heroes don't have blonde gutter punk hair.
I miss the bowl cut, Gohan. Getting punched in the stomach by Vegeta.
There's something rolling around my head that I will not voice.
Okay, that's fine. Because a few, I know that's the end of the episode, but a few more voice lines for me. As Goku continues to encourage him, he goes, "Yeah, me and King Kai, we're having a good time up here in Otherworld, so you should have a good time on Earth." And King Kai responds with, "Goku, you put me out of my house. This isn't good."
Goku, quit glazing yourself.
Well, we're gonna go eat after this.
I don't want to eat with you. You blew up my planet and my
Come
car.
on. You don't want to share a succulent Chinese meal with me?
Bubbles might, but I don't.
Yeah, Bubbles is giving a thumbs up. Gregory, what do you think? Dinner after this?
You know it. The copium of you two. Oh.
King Kai, what'd you need a house for?
Stuff?
What
My
stuff?
many prized possessions,
Name-
including a TV that I watch Premium Blend on?
Not comedy. I forget. Comedy Central presents.
Comedy Central presents Premium Blend. That's where Camille got to start.
Not the meltdown with him and Jonah in the back of that comic shop.
That was before we knew the evils of T.J. Miller.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got jacked because of Kumail. That's my workout hero. Bubble,
yes, Bubbles. He's also your fit inspo. I get it. Keep sending me your Pinterest.
Yeah, we've all seen Bubbles' Pinterests. Cool maniacs, he calls it.
And see cool maniacs.
There has to be a term for
the Kumail heads. I mean, cool maniacs is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. But like, yeah, we're not talking about what the subreddit, like, is this the subreddit title?
Maybe. Kumail Gone Wild. Whoops. Look, I might have told myself a little bit.
r/the mail always delivers.
The Kumail man?
The Kumail man.
This is good. Look, Reddit, have at it.
Yeah, Reddit, we set you up.
And on a nicer, sweeter, tear to my eye note, of course, Gohan's very sad that he kind of got his dad killed, but Goku does reassure him by saying, "Hey, your father may be dead, but whenever you think of me, we'll always be together."
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. The Western version didn't get any of that sentimental crap.
What? He's just like, fight, you wuss.
Yeah. He's not. He's just like, take it easy on yourself, Gohan. Like you don't have to beat yourself up like many millennial men do.
Mm-hmm.
And so Gohan is given the resolve, charging his Kamehameha wave, and that's where we end the episode. So a little light on progression, but we Cell got his speech in. Gohan gets his motivation. We are set up for what will be,
It is
hopefully, a Kamehameha wave clash of the century.
we are so close. I think looking ahead, just a scant few episodes before we're out of the Cell saga. But look, a shorter episode to cover means we have more time for mail, and boy, is that bag chock full of letters from you folks.
That's right.
See,
And our first mail is from Miranda. Hi, Miranda.
hello.
Miranda writes, "Hello, fools."
Off to a bad start.
All right, Miranda.
We just met.
I've been listening to your podcast from the beginning for about a year now, and I just finished the original Dragon Ball series episodes. It's hard to imagine that I've been listening for that long to be able to hear all of it. I love Dragon Ball so much that I couldn't get enough of it, so I started seeking out a podcast that talked about it. And what drove me to choose your podcast was actually the name, Kame House Party. Yes.
Yes.
I was like, fuck yeah. I want to go home. I want to go to a Kame House Party. We all do. We all wish there was a Kame House Club.
A sentient house to party in.
Yeah. I want to go to a Kame House Party. So here I am. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know that improv was a thing. So when y'all started going on your own tangents, being the characters and whatever else, I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? I was hella confused for a while, and it annoyed me at first.
This explains so much about our podcast and listenership.
But I've actually grown to love it because y'all are funny as hell.
Aww.
I'm super excited to start the DBZ saga with you guys and see the differences between the subbed and dubbed in DBZ. I couldn't watch the sub version myself because I couldn't stand the voice of Goku being so high pitched. Anyways, I wanted to reach out and say thank you for your dedication to the podcast and for keeping me entertained while I'm at work for hours and hours. Keep it up, guys. You're amazing. Thank you, Miranda. That's very nice.
You.
And I love that we've been read to filth by this email.
I'm on the fence on how to feel. I think it's mostly positive, though.
It's
so
mostly
thank
positive.
you.
Also, Vince, I low-key love it whenever you talk about basketball on the podcast. So what's your take on the Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade? Also, as I heard it happen, I was like, I wonder if Vince is angry about the Lakers losing AD. Ha, ha, ha. Anyways, thanks again. Y'all are hilarious. Keep fighting. Miranda C. Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you very much. That was very nice.
And I'm ready to look.
Right.
It's been a while since this email came in. So, Aaron, do you know about the Luka Doncic trade? Do you know who Luka Doncic is?
I don't. I was just going to take a nice step back and let you go off.
All right. So I'm gonna go off. I think the Lakers made a long-term decision with bringing Luka Doncic onto the team. I don't think this was like a lot of people thought it was a LeBron move. A lot of people thought that the Lakers were doing this because AD is at injury risk. Anthony Davis, the guy with the unibrow, which he is. And Aaron, the next game that he played with the Dallas Mavericks, which is the team that the Luka Doncic came from, he hurt himself in a non-contact injury. So the Lakers faithful are probably very happy that they lost or got rid of Anthony Davis for Luka, but Luka's also been injured coming back. I think the real winners, Aaron, are the fans, is basketball in general. These big moves for these big players, I think, help to reinvigorate enthusiasm around the NBA, which has been waning over the past couple of years. I don't really like Luka Doncic's game. And since this email and since the trade, the tabloids have gone crazy with the narrative that the Mavs got rid of Luka for off the court reasons.
Okay.
Him being out of shape, him not being a good culture guy, a good culture fit for the organization. I think it's something as easy as the Mavericks owners who are new to the league met Luka, didn't like his whole vibe, didn't want to pay him his max contract, which would have been $350 million, and said, we'll trade him away. And because these people, I think, have a limited understanding on how the league works, they said, do it quickly. And when whoever talked to the Lakers, they made the kind of trade for trade. They were like, yeah, we'll take Anthony Davis. We know who he is. We know he's a great player. He can play with Kyrie Irving. So that all to say, I think the league coming out of the All-Star break is in a better spot, but I don't think it's going to fix the bigger headaches of that fans have with the NBA. Too many games, too many places unable to watch as many games as you want. And yeah, that's it. Like, I'm happy for Luka. I hope he's happy. I hope LeBron is happy. I know AD is not happy because he's immediately hurt, but I don't think it changes the Western Conference at all, really. I don't think the Lakers are in a better position to get to the playoffs. I think with LeBron on your team, you're always a threat to get to the playoffs. Will they win a few more games than they would have otherwise? Probably. But how can you not when you have two guys on your team that habitually score 40 points a game? So that's it. That's it for Miranda's question about the NBA. And I hope that gave you what you were looking for. Because Aaron has fallen asleep in front of his microphone while I've gone on this diatribe.
Sorry. Let me remove this cap and this single candle that I use to navigate my house. No, it's what do you mean people can't see all the games?
A lot of the games are region locked.
That sucks. There's no red zone.
So in order to watch all of the games, you have to buy NBA League Pass.
Okay.
And it's just like an extra subscription. But like where you want to watch the games, which is usually on TNT because it has Shaq on it and Sir Charles. Like you can always watch those games because TNT is its own network. But like if I wanted to, sometimes a New York Knicks game that's being played on the West Coast somewhere I can't watch because it's region locked, and I don't want to spend the money for League Pass. Even though.
So it sounds like it's a ploy to get people to get a subscription. Okay, yeah, then that does suck, and that's bad.
And that's why viewership is down because people don't want to pay to. People don't want to have to pay to see bad games, and a lot of the midseason games are bad. Excitement for the NBA is in the beginning of the season. The tabloid excitement is around the middle of the season because that's when trade deadlines are.
Okay.
Most people that I know that watch the NBA only pay attention towards the end of conference play and when the playoffs are on.
Okay.
They tried to inject a mid-season tournament, and that was exciting for the first couple of years, but now it's like players are sitting them out still.
Oh, really?
Because they play so many games. They play like 75 games, 80 games. And then you also do the All-Star break, where a lot of them are expected to show up, and the All-Star break was terrible. The dunk contest has been bad, apart from like the one guy who's been winning the last 3 years, Mac McClung, aka White Flight. Shout out to the Flagrant Ones for coining that phrase. But like the games themselves are bad. And this year, Aaron, they had Kevin Hart doing joke commentary. And if you watch it, it's just him like belittling the players. And like you could see in their faces, they're like, this isn't fun. Like, we like Kevin Hart, but we don't want to get yelled at when we're here kind of against our will.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas of all places. So
should there be some sort of alumni game instead? Retired folks?
No. I think they're probably going to do something like what hockey just did with the
play outside for the Winter Classic.
Play outside. Play on an aircraft carrier like they do in college. No, but they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do like a U.S. versus the world game instead of like the traditional All-Star game where it's like we pick players from the best players from the East and the West. Or like to make it more competitive, they should have a team of the guys that didn't get picked for the All-Star game that people really wanted to see play. Like there are exciting players in the league that keep getting snubbed and don't have a platform to showcase their skill, or they play in small markets that nobody gets to see. And like everybody's like, this LaMelo Ball guy is fun to watch. He doesn't win a lot of games, so he's not in the forefront of your mind. But why not bring him? Why is he not an all-star when he's averaging like 30 points a game and like 10 assists on a losing team? When like the same old guys who've been in the league for so long keep getting put in front of the fans, and we already know how great Steph Curry is, but we can't get Steph Curry to do another 3-point shooting contest. Like we can't. LeBron James has never done a dunk contest. Like, and because a white guy has won the last 3 years, some of the players have been tweeting, "Oh, Mac McClung make me want to do the dunk contest." It's like, fuck you. You don't want to do it. That's it. You don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. But you, the player, have to suffer the slings and arrows of not doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So if they want to all flip the script and show up for these things, like, that's great. I think they should be negotiating for fewer regular season games and be doing stuff that the WNBA is doing, like the Unrivaled 3-on-3 league, the one-on-one tournament during the season break. Like these are things that get to showcase players and their abilities beyond the superstars that we get to see on a regular basis because they are always in the media's eye. Like Breanna Stewart lost. She's the number 1 seed going into the one-on-one tournament. She lost to a relatively, like, she was a first-round draft pick, but like nobody thinks she's something crazy special. Like, she's not the future of the league. She's not a Caitlin Clark. She beat Breanna Stewart 12-0. The game lasted about 3 minutes, right? There are players in the NBA that can beat other players in a one-on-one scenario, but like you're not seeing the league's talent as a whole. It gets blotted out by superstars over and over again. Where like the WNBA, I think, is making a conceited effort to showcase all of the talent on and off the floor, to make sure their players are recognized. They need to be paid more. They really need to be paid more, because I just saw a deal that went through where somebody got a contract that's $90,000 a year. Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
Caitlin Clark alone is estimated to have brought in $3.5 million to the WNBA in terms of views. and broadcasting. And you're telling me that like Caitlin Clark can't make more than $70K a year? She gets a $300,000 contract for like 5 years. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's nothing.
It's insane.
Like, most Americans would not take that
No,
in any job.
but at least they are at least giving players the option to not have to fly and work and play in European leagues in the offseason to get hurt, to get, in Brittany Griner's case, put in a Russian jail. Like, protecting their players seems to be something that they want to do more of.
That's good.
The NBA has a different problem, which is how do we get people excited to watch the NBA again? They have no identity outside of like LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic. Like those three names, and most people don't know who the fuck Nikola Jokic is, but he's been the best player for the like past 5 years. He's like 3 MVPs, averaging like triple doubles every night. But NBA has some work to do, and you've got an email to read.
We didn't know. Like, guess what, folks? This is the soft launch of Vince's basketball program.
Balls deep with Vince.
Caller, you're on the air with Balls Deep.
Hey, it's me, Sir Charles. Mr. Vincent, I don't like your takes, and I heard you're from Delaware. You know, I went to Delaware once. Went to the Christiana Mall. I named my daughter after her. They got some skinny women in Delaware.
These are all things he's literally said. And here's something that master researcher Nick has said. It's been a minute. They write, by now, you've gotten a few people saying you need to get back to covering the DBZ movies. We have. That's true. Correct.
This is true.
I'll go a step further.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to go beyond and say you need to cover the 2 specials, Bardock, Father of Goku, and History of Trunks. The latter especially since the Cell Saga is about to end and the finale will be more satisfying after History of Trunks. Bardock, Father of Goku is pretty removed from where you are now, but it's an interesting piece of Dragon Ball history, especially given how later Dragon Ball has tried to rewrite it. You could always do a double feature with the episode of Bardock, which is an interesting product to say the least. Keep fighting, Master Researcher Nick. We will have to actually sit down and use our knowledge to map out.
We've got a game plan around how to talk about the films. But Nick, thank you for not letting this go. We definitely need the encouragement. And as we come towards the end of the Cell Saga, it makes sense. Can't commit to anything yet, but it makes sense. And Aaron, I know we'll have to have a real conversation.
I know. We'll have to set dates. We have one more that I think you're going to read.
Okay. The last email comes from and is entitled "Longtime Listener" from Atif. Atif, hello. Atif writes, I have been listening to your podcast for a long time now, but didn't have the courage to write to you guys. I finally decided to do it. And I just want to say, keep up the great work, man. Love you both.
Aw.
And there's a little aside. Vince is especially funny.
That's true.
But I don't know how real it is because funny is spelled FUN space KN.
Maybe this could have been speech to text.
I think it's speech to text. But Atif, thank you for sending it in.
Very
and
nice.
Thank you for gassing me up.
You look, talking earlier, we're going to do a whole bit where I was going to be jealous that we had such Vince-focused emails. But now that I'm listening to it, of course you should have Vince-focused emails. You're great.
Oh, stop it. We need the balance of the emails to come back. Just like the DC universe. So send in your Aaron appreciation emails. I'll start by saying, Aaron, you are one of my favorite people on the planet, and you make me laugh more than anyone else has over these years of doing this podcast and doing improv and whatnot. So if you think I'm funny, it's because this man is setting me up to do alley-oops. NBA reference.
Look, you're the Shaq to my other team members, not just from a tallness standpoint. Yeah, what a wonderful and nice and hilarious human being you are. That's my email to you. Also, The Rock, please write in so we can restore balance. So we need to shift balance.
Dwayne, what is going on with the DC universe?
He's going to be in a Martin Scorsese movie, baby. That just got announced, right?
What?
He's going to be cinema.
Oh God, Dwayne the Cinema Johnson. Dwayne 40X Johnson.
I think it's. How much are they paying? I want to know the behind the scenes of all this. Besides, Marty needs money, baby, and this is the way to get it funded.
He's trying to score Scorsese one for the record books, or score one for the Rock Skipper.
He wants free Papatui products. He needs that men's wellness.
Oh God, man. Oh, we should make a men's focus brand. Men are underserved. That's my basketball podcast is going to be.
Yeah, it's
NBA. No bitches allowed.
Like selling wipes with the word bro in it.
You've heard of dude wipes? Fuck that. We got bro chiefs.
Look, everyone knows that when you poop, you're nasty.
Don't hide it. Embrace it.
Yeah. Refuse to wash your legs.
Gravity does it for you, damn it.
The soap runs down and cleans it.
Oh, just joking about that makes my skin itch. Wash your legs and feet, you fucks.
The first time I heard about this lore from certain people, amazed and horrified.
Yeah. Just like Aaron, I want to be amazed by the delicious treats that Tokyo Treat provides in this Sakura themed and Sakura designed springtime cherry blossom bites snack box. They are a proud sponsor of the podcast, and you can get your own Tokyo Treat box by going to team.tokyotreat.com/Kame. We talked about it at the top of the show, but make sure you patronize them because, it helps the show. I'm not afraid to say we get a little bit for sending you through. So use that promo code KME at checkout, get $5 off.
It's good.
And that's the kicker. It's freaking delicious. Aaron, anything you want to plug?
Oh yeah. You know what? Why if you are horror inclined.
Oh yeah.
And you live near the Cincinnati, Ohio area, or even if you're traveling there, I have a short film that is going to be premiering at Horror Hound Weekend. That is March 21st to 23rd. Of this year over in Cincinnati. If you're planning on going, or maybe you're on the fence, you can come see me. I'll be there showing my short film Saturday morning. I'll be on a Q&A panel. You can ask me questions about the podcast. Literally, if you are a fan of the podcast and you see me there, I'll probably buy you lunch. Like that. That seems like such an impossibility, but I gotta put it out there.
Oh man, the Venn diagram is being drawn right now.
Very thin, but But yeah, that's just me bragging a little bit. I got into a film festival.
Yeah, congrats, my guy.
Thank
and,
you.
And congrats to Cincinnati, Ohio, because you're getting one of the best coming to your town.
I'm ready to put money back into your economy.
Well, Aaron, yeah, absolutely. Everybody keep an eye out for that. If you're in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, show up.
And after the festival, it'll go on. I'll put it online. You'll be able to see it.
I can't wait. I know you've been working really hard. And so another big congratulations for getting some recognition by the rest of the community, because you got the juice, my guy.
Oh,
You
thank
got
you.
it. You got the blood curdling juice. And I've got the blood curdling need to bring us out of this podcast the only way I know how.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you are being bullied into talking about the rest of the Dragon Ball Z movies or you're being bullied from your dad in heaven, you gotta
keep fighting God. Nope, can't say the ha yet.
Hey.
Next episode.
Hey.